I wanted to connect Skool to Claude Code. Have Claude Code monitor my community, summarize discussions, and then be able to draft responses for me. It's simple, right? Just use the API. But here's the problem. Skool's official API is suspended. You literally cannot use it. The documentation does exist, but whenever you try to authenticate, you get a message that says service is suspended by the owner. But I am posting to Skool right now, which means the web app does work, which also means there's an API. Skool just isn't letting us use it officially. So I built my own integration anyways. And I want to show you how I did it, whether this is actually okay to do, the framework for building tools that platforms don't hand you. So here's the distinction. When you use Skool in your browser makes HTTP requests to Skool servers. Every time you click a button, load a page, post a comment. That's an API call happening behind the scenes. So what I did was open Chrome DevTools, click the Network tab, watch those requests happen, and then I copied them. Now I do want to make a quick distinction that this is not considered hacking. It's observing what your own browser is already doing on your behalf. So here's what this is. Using the same endpoints that the web app uses, authenticating with your very own session that you're currently logged in with, accessing data you already have access to, and then automating actions you could do manually. Now, here's what this is not. You're not bypassing authentication. You're not accessing data you shouldn't have access to. You're not exploiting security vulnerabilities. And you're not impersonating other users. And you're not overwhelming their servers. When you use an undocumented API, you're just calling the same endpoints the official web app calls. The platform didn't build a separate secret API. They built one API and decided which parts they wanted to document publicly. So to you, the risk isn't really a legal one. It's really more of an operational risk. Undocumented endpoints can change without warning, and I accept that trade-off. So here's the process. Step 1 will be to open DevTools. So right click anywhere on the page, hit inspect, and then click at the top to the network tab. And make sure that you click filter by XHR or fetch as well, so we get the right kind of network requests. Perform actions in the application and then watch these requests come into the network tab. You can load the community, see how it fetches posts, click on a post, and then see how it loads comments, post a reply, see the create endpoint, like a comment, see the vote endpoint. Every action shows up in the network tab with the full request. URL, headers, body, everything. Step 3 is to document what you find. Step 4 is to test with curl. Confirm everything works before you build anything with this. Then step 5 is you can build your own integration. What I decided to do is build an MCP server. Now, Claude can list posts in my community. It can read comments on any post. It can create new posts. It can reply to comments. It can like content all through the same API that the Skool web app is currently using. I do want to talk a little bit about ethics around this. Now, just because you can do something doesn't mean you necessarily should. So here's a few green lights, which equal go ahead and do this if you would like. If you're doing a personal productivity automation, you're using your own account with your own data, you're using this at kind of a low volume, and they're actions you would do manually anyways. Now here are a few yellow light things to keep in mind to proceed with caution. Now, are you sharing this with a small trusted group? Do so cautiously. Teaching others the process or any other use case that might scale, you might want to exercise caution. Now, these are the red light. Don't do these. Scraping data that you don't own, bypassing the rate limits, tools that enable abuse at scale being used with this API, distributing API wrappers that let anyone bypass restrictions. So ultimately, I asked myself a question. If everyone did what I'm doing, would the platform be okay? Now, if I automate posting in my own community at reasonable volumes, Skool's fine. It's no different than me being in the community and doing a lot of manual volume. But if I built a service that let thousands automate spam posting, then Skool has a problem. So in this regards, doing something like what I've done here, if you're unsure, here's my recommendation. Email the platform. Seriously. Say something like, hey, I built a personal tool using your web endpoints. Are there any concerns? Most platforms appreciate transparency like this. So, why does all of this matter? The most powerful people in any space aren't the ones that are waiting for permission. They're the ones who see a gap and then they decide to fill it. Skool doesn't give us an API, so I decided to build one. The tools you need to be effective often don't exist yet. And it's not because they're impossible, but because no one's built them for your specific use case. Now, this is the compounding effect of all of this. Once you build one tool, you understand how to build more. The skills transfer, the patterns repeat. You're not just building a tool, you're building capability. So, here's a quick recap. The distinction we're making here is that using undocumented APIs is not considered hacking. The process to do so is to use your DevTools, document in the network tab the various endpoints that are being used, then test every endpoint out, and then build your integration. And the ethics around this are that if you're doing this for personal automation, it's generally fine. Just be careful about any sort of scale that you apply to this. But ultimately, the mindset is to build the tools that you need. Now, I am selective about what I share because a lot of what I'm doing is rather powerful. But for the right people who do understand the ethics, I am very happy to go deeper on this. So what tools do you wish existed? And what would you automate if you could? Let me know in the comments below.